Okay everybody, welcome to this quick unboxing of this new set from Arrow Video. This is the Gamera Heisei Trilogy that just came out. I think today's release day and I got it in the mail this afternoon. So people that aren't familiar with this set of movies, I'll just give you a quick background, not on the films themselves, but my experience with these films. So these were previously released in a trilogy pack from Mill Creek, and it was a cheap set to own. I remember finding it in a $7 bin at a Walmart, I think. I had no idea what the movies were, didn't know who Gamera was, and there was just something about that cover art that got my attention, and it was only $7, so I sprung for it and was pleasantly surprised. So all these years later, you know, I don't own that set anymore, but glad to see that it's finally getting a more special treatment. The same three films being released again by Arrow Video. So this is a Steelbook edition. These are Blu-rays, so just HD presentations of the film, not 4K. You know, that would have been really special to get, but these are still a nice treat, and again in this limited edition Steelbook. So right now it's still sealed, so I'm just going to pop this thing open and we're going to open this together. So the first thing I'm noticing, at least I think, is it looks like, and I hope, that this is a matte finish. You know, it's kind of reflective, so the flames, like the fire, is kind of really, you know, the most shiny reflective part. And but it is still, it looks like a matte finish as far as the surface of the Steelbook itself. So you've got this J card that is attached along the bottom. Just undo that so we can see all the front cover art. Before I take it off entirely, I'll just flip it over and see if it's attached on the back. It is, so I'll need to move it, flip it over. While we're on the back side, I guess we can just take a look, because this text is probably not on the back of the Steelbook. So you can see, you know, just by looking at it there. And so I'm not going to go through all these, but there's a lot of special features, or at least a lot more than what there were on that Mill Creek Blu-ray. There were some special features, I think, but I'm sure there's a lot more extensive stuff being included with this set, which might be the main reason for getting it. All right, okay, cool. I already dig. Look at this back cover art. So I think this is from the second film, Attack of Legion, I think it was called. Let me look at the J card. Yep, Attack of Legion. So yeah, on the front, I think this is from Guardians of the Universe. Here, I'll just put the J card here again just to keep track of which films are which. And you know, I'm not a huge fan of this front cover, I have to say. It just strikes me as a little bit bland. This may actually be like the original poster art, like theatrical poster art for the film, for the first film in this trilogy. So if you like that, if you like having the original artwork, then you'll appreciate probably this front cover. I much prefer what's going on in the back here. It looks cooler to me. You've got like this, you know, it's not a helicopter, but you know, some type of chopper down here at the bottom, just this explosion coming from behind. I like this artwork a lot better, personally. So, you know, the spine isn't anything too interesting. We've got it in like this green color. Yeah, it doesn't really stand out too much, in my opinion. So the Steelbook so far is, you know, it's not the most exciting art, but it is somewhat colorful. I'm not sure what this is for. It's not, there's not a digital code or anything like that included with this. So yeah, we got 3 discs, 1 film to a disc, and I like the disc art. So yeah, here's the first one. Guardian of the Universe is the first one, and then I guess 2 is behind it, and then 3 is over here. Strange to me, it seems like the first one would go left, and then the second one, and then the third one in the back. I don't know, that's just how it makes sense to me. Let's just remove these discs temporarily so we can see the artwork behind the discs. So I can tell that's the bad guy, the villain from the third film. And this one. Okay, so it's all just one complete image of, it's just a still basically taken from the third film. So while I'm not expecting the video to be a ton better, because I thought the Mill Creek video looked, pretty decent, in fact, even really good sometimes. So maybe what we're getting here is the bonus features is kind of like the main selling point, and probably improvement in the subtitles. I think I'd heard people saying that the subtitles were off or perhaps just not accurate. Either not accurate or out of sync sometimes on those Mill Creek discs. So maybe that's been improved as well. As far as a Steelbook, I think the interior art, aside from the discs actually look pretty good. That artwork in the back isn't, anything great. Again, I'm a little underwhelmed by the front cover art. And really my favorite angle to look at this is from the back here. This is a much more interesting image in my opinion. I do like that the Steelbook is a matte finish. It's not glossy, so you're not going to see your fingerprints all over it, but it still has a shiny reflectiveness to it, so it's not a dull matte color. But yeah, the image here on the front just doesn't jump out to me really. I've got these other for comparison, like here's a Flash Gordon release from Arrow as well. Just much more colorful, just leaps out at you a little bit more. Even more recently, this Tremors set that, again, all from Arrow. These two are 4K releases, but I mean, that doesn't really have anything to do with, the cover art. So in my opinion, this is just a little bit underwhelming, a little bit bland compared to some other artwork from Arrow. Now, the other releases of these sets do have really cool artwork, more colorful, more lively in my opinion. Being released alongside with this one are two other sets. That one is the Showa era films, so those are the older ones, and the other one is the Heisei series, and that includes the films that are in this trilogy, but also adds the 2006 film Gamera the Brave, which again I have never seen. So these are the three films I wanted to own. I'm glad to have them back on physical media. I did get rid of that Mill Creek set some years ago, so happy to have these back. And you can look for those Mill Creek releases. They're just, I think they're out of print as well, so they're going for higher prices than they really should be on Amazon and on eBay. Third-party sellers selling them for pretty high prices, I think, to coincide with this release and kind of this interest in Gamera kind of coming back. So anyway, this is how the Steelbook looks. Again, not super in love with the front, really like the back, and happy to add it to my collection of films. If you have not seen these movies, I want to just make it a blind buy like I did. If you like Godzilla films, or I think they're just called kaiju films, like that sort of that genre of film, I think you might be impressed. It looks silly to have a turtle, kind of creature fighting evil and protecting humanity, but I found them all quite entertaining. Definitely a certain kind of taste, but if it's your taste, then check out these Arrow releases. They're really giving this franchise some wonderful treatment and respect. So hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around for some more videos in the future, and I'll see you then.